Welcome back, guys, to another redstone tutorial. Pi here. Today we're going to be building a netherwart farm, so let's just do that real quick. Let's see here. I always forget how to swap my offhand. So what we start in here by building out the frame, per usual. So I built out a 19 by 19 frame, and that is so that we get this 17 by, I believe, 15 region in the middle here. 15 because we can activate pistons with a redstone length of 15 easily, and then we're going to place 12 blocks of soul sand this way. So we're going to get a 12 by 15 region of plantable growth. So to start out, let's first place all the pistons we're going to need to harvest the crops. The idea here basically is that we will move all the dirt with pistons, or the soul sand I should say, and as a result they'll break all the crops, and then we'll replant them, because unfortunately there is no way to automatically replant them. So on both sides we're going to lay out some redstone here. So let's get that real quick. And the point of this is to activate all the pistons. So if I just do this on actually one side here, let's build one more out and get pistons all the way along, a single redstone pulse will actually activate all these pistons. So we can do that with a block of redstone here. As you can see, they all activate. But if we put this one farther, so in some sense we put it here, the last one doesn't actually activate. So this is as far as we can go with a simple setup that doesn't involve repeaters and such. Hence the 15 deep. And 12 wide is because that's how far you can press soul sand. So if we quickly do this on the other side here, and now we have that set up. So we can just start placing the soul sand in the middle. So if we place 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now when we activate this, it will push those across. And if we activate it on the other side, it'll push it back. Any longer than that, if this was the farm was one block wider, it wouldn't be able to push that more than 12 soul sand blocks. So we're going to fill out the entire farm here, and we'll be right back. Awesome, so now we've got that all set up. We can move the entire farm by triggering the right side and then conversely triggering the left side to move it back, which is the general idea. We're going to plant a bunch of netherwart on this, and then to harvest it, we will simply push those pistons and then push those pistons, as I can actually demonstrate quickly over here. Something didn't work out. Well, I should probably figure that out. 1 second. All right, this is actually a perfect opportunity to explain something to be careful about. I have some repeaters back here, and while I was placing these stairs, I had triggered one of them to, instead of be on 4 pulses, be on 1. And that was the entire problem. So when you're putting stuff around redstone repeaters, you got to be very careful not to place it on them like that, or you're going to mess up your wiring. See, that one's fine, but these ones are how they're supposed to be. So now it works like that. And then we can just pick up all of this and replant it, basically. I'm in creative mode here, so I didn't end up actually using the 108 netherwart it would require to replant this. So that's about 3 stacks lost. But as you can see, we gained at least 3 stacks overall from this one harvest. I believe it averages 3 netherwart per fully grown plant. So if this is fully grown, you should get 3 on average and have to replant 1. So you'll get, on average, from a 180 block farm like this, 360 netherwart pieces, or just under 6 stacks. And then I have this shulker box here to just store it. So back onto this farm, now that we've showed how that it'll end up working here, what we need to do is actually trigger these. So what we're going to do here is we are going to place a torch directly under here and a torch on top. So this will, by default, both of them will be unpowered. When we trigger this initially, it'll power it for a second, so we should probably move it back, although it doesn't matter too much. But now, simply to power these, all we have to do is put a pulse into this block. So if we, for instance, get a repeater and a torch, it now powers this. So on both sides, we're going to power it. So from a single button, it'll first trigger this guy, and then it will trigger this guy. Now the problem is, if we simply take redstone, put it all the way across, and then power it, it powers both, but obviously they're powered at the same time, which we don't want. We want to power the right side first, and then the left side. So what we're going to do is we're going to put delay on the left side, and per my custom, I'm going to put orange concrete here, because we're going to be placing redstone on top of it. I want to always be sure that if I'm using a specific block for things you would never want to break if you built this in your survival world, because that way if you're doing something else underneath and you find a redstone farm above you, if it's blue, you know you can break it, but if it's orange, you better not. So on this side, we're going to place 3 repeaters. That's how many we'll need, and then we'll just place this all the way down. And then wherever the middle is, I think it's here. It's hard to tell exactly. That looked like it's one off, actually. That appears to be, you know what, let's just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 plus 9 plus 2, yeah. Okay, so it is actually just one block in the center. I built this one with 2. I'm not sure why I did that. I think it's because the whole farm is just not even. But either way, you can place some buttons on this, and then any one of these buttons will trigger the farm. As you can see, this still doesn't work because this tries to trigger before that one releases. So it triggered now, and that one hadn't released, so nothing happens. So we need to set this to at least 4, 8, and then 11 delay. This is at 10, so this still won't work. But if we set this to 11 delay, it's just enough time that the second those ones release, these ones can push. So that's about as perfect as can be. And I believe these stone or black stone, doesn't matter, buttons have the best pulse. I think they're 10 ticks, whereas if we use a wood button, it'd be 20 ticks, so you'd have to go at 21 tick delay. But here we get the best for a button, and we can just push it, and it will just move this back and forth. So if we had a piece of netherwart anywhere on here, it'll pop off. And that's the entire plan of the farm. So basically everything else is just covering all this up. So first I'm just going to place blocks basically everywhere above all of this so we can't see any of the wiring. Awesome, so we've covered up the wiring, covered up the pistons, can't access any of that anymore. So the only actual important thing left to do is just plant all your netherwart. And then everything else after that is simply cosmetic. So let's plant this, and then we will use a random tick speed change to make them all grow and see what our yield is. All right, so now that we've got this set up, it's time to just test it out, how it works. So I believe it takes, I think it takes 20-ish minutes to grow netherwart normally on average, but I'm not actually positive about that. It takes some time, so when you do this, you'll want to leave and come back. But if we change the random tick speed up and let these all grow to full size, it takes a minute here. Some of them, that one's random tick was terrible. Should probably clear entities after that. It's gonna get laggy. Yo, can you guys all grow? I think there's a couple left. That one's done. And I think this one is not done yet. There we go. I think that did it. Probably lagged out my whole world. We've got, let's see. Oh, only 178 entities. I guess I was far enough away from some of those farms maybe for them to go. But as we can see here, I believe we should get 180 full plants here. And this, when we replant it, should leave us with, I believe, 5 stacks and 40 netherwart. So what we're going to do here is actually, we're going to go into survival mode. Game mode, survival. And that way, when I plant the netherwart after we pick it up, I'll actually plant the right amount. So I'm going to pick this all up and plant it, and let's see how much we get. Awesome. So this is all done here. We've got them all. And let me go back into creative actually, so we can fly above it. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks and 42 actually. So, I mean, it is a random number here. It's 2 to 4, I believe, netherwart per plant. So we got a little lucky there. Got 2 extra, but just about what I thought. So that's pretty much it for the farm. This works exactly as you need. You simply push the button, plant, replant, walk away, and come back when they're all grown. So the only thing I have left to do is build this little case I have onto this one. So I'm going to do that in a time-lapse quick version, and I'll see you guys at the end. All right, well, that is pretty much it. I got the little casing of blackstone around on the sides. We got our little shulker box here where we can put the netherwart blends in pretty well and walk right up to the farm. Makes it a pretty nice entrance. If you've got this in the world, you can just come hit these buttons on your way up and harvest it. And it's much harder for anything to pop out because you have this 1.5 wall on all sides now, so you're not going to lose any netherwart off to the side. So yeah, that's the farm. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing this. Let me know if there's any other tutorials you want to see. I can do quite a lot here. I have a number in the works already. I'm actually recording this one and another one ahead of schedule since I'm out of town pretty soon here. Well, I'll be out of town when this video comes out, but yeah, if there's any reaction videos, tutorials, Hypixel content, anything you'd like to see, just let me know and I'll probably do it. So hope you guys enjoyed and have a good one.